What if the greatest teacher in Jedi history had become its greatest threat? The moment Count Dooku faced Obi-Wan Kenobi on Geonosis, he saw something none of us did. A shadow of doubt, a flicker of darkness. "You have great wisdom, Obi-Wan," he said. "Join me." In our timeline, Kenobi refused. But what if he hadn't? What if the man who trained both Anakin Skywalker and Luke had fallen to darkness first? Today, we explore how one man's fall could have reshaped the entire galaxy. The death of Qui-Gon Jinn marked the first crack in Obi-Wan's armor. While we saw him channel his pain into training Anakin, imagine if that grief had festered instead. Each night spent alone, questioning the Jedi code that forced him to suppress his emotions. Each morning waking up to train a boy he wasn't ready to teach. Count Dooku, Qui-Gon's former master, would have sensed this vulnerability. He understood Obi-Wan's pain better than anyone. They shared the same loss. But Dooku offered something the Jedi Council couldn't: answers. He revealed to Obi-Wan how the Republic's corruption had indirectly led to Qui-Gon's death, how the Jedi's blind allegiance to a failing system had made them complicit. The Clone Wars hadn't yet begun, but the seeds of doubt were already taking root. Obi-Wan started seeing the flaws in the Jedi Order, their refusal to adapt, their rigid adherence to traditions that seemed increasingly outdated. He watched as they rejected Anakin's potential, just as they had once questioned Qui-Gon's wisdom. Obi-Wan's turn wouldn't be sudden like Anakin's, but a gradual descent masked by his legendary self-control. It began with small compromises, using mind tricks more frequently, pushing the boundaries of what the Council considered acceptable. He justified each step as necessary for the greater good. The Clone Wars accelerated his fall. Leading armies of clones, Obi-Wan saw firsthand how the Republic's bureaucracy and the Jedi's hesitation cost countless lives. During a crucial battle on Crossroads, he first tapped into the dark side, not out of anger, but from a calculated decision that victory required power the light side couldn't provide. Dooku watched from afar, subtly guiding his new apprentice. He shared ancient Sith knowledge with Obi-Wan, presenting it as lost Jedi teachings that the Council had suppressed. The dark side offered clarity Obi-Wan had never known. He began to understand why Qui-Gon had often defied the Council. They were afraid of true power. Anakin sensed the changes in his master, but misinterpreted them as wisdom gained from experience. Obi-Wan's growing darkness cast a shadow over Anakin's training. Every lesson became tinged with subtle corruption. The importance of power, the weakness of mercy, the necessity of control. But something unexpected happened. As Obi-Wan fell deeper into darkness, Anakin began to see the path he was being led down. The very qualities Obi-Wan had once criticized in him, impulsiveness, attachment, emotion, became his salvation. Anakin's love for Padme anchored him to the light, while Obi-Wan's calculated detachment drew him further into shadow. The Council remained blind to the darkness growing in their midst. Obi-Wan's reputation as the perfect Jedi served as the perfect cover. Even Master Yoda, with all his wisdom, mistook Obi-Wan's growing power for spiritual maturation. When Order 66 came, it wasn't just Palpatine's masterstroke, it was Obi-Wan's moment of revelation. As clone troopers turned on their Jedi generals, Obi-Wan finally showed his true colors. He didn't just participate in the purge, he elevated it to an art form. The Jedi Temple fell, not to Anakin Skywalker, but to the man they trusted most. Obi-Wan's intimate knowledge of the Temple's defenses made its fall inevitable. Young Jedi ran to him for protection, only to find death at the hands of their beloved master. His lightsaber, once a symbol of justice, carved a path of devastation through the only home he had ever known. Anakin, horrified by his master's betrayal, tried to stop him. Their duel in the temple was not driven by hatred, but by heartbreak. Master versus apprentice, but with roles reversed. Anakin fighting to preserve the Jedi way, while Obi-Wan sought to destroy it. The aftermath of Order 66 created a darker galaxy than we ever knew. Darth Sidious ruled as Emperor, with both Dooku and Kenobi as his enforcers. Obi-Wan, now known as Darth Cipher, became the Empire's greatest hunter of surviving Jedi. His intimate knowledge of Jedi techniques made him unstoppable. Anakin went into hiding, protecting not just his children, but a handful of Jedi younglings he managed to save. The Chosen One became the last teacher of the light side, running a secret academy on remote worlds. Luke and Leia grew up training alongside other Force-sensitive children, learning from their father's experiences about the seductive danger of the dark side. The rebellion in this timeline was fundamentally different. Instead of a military alliance, it became a desperate campaign to preserve Force sensitivity itself. Darth Cipher's crusade wasn't just about killing Jedi. It was about reshaping the very nature of the Force. The impact of Obi-Wan's fall rippled through time itself. Qui-Gon's Force Ghost watched in anguish as his former Padawan dismantled everything they had fought to protect. The prophecy of the Chosen One took on new meaning. Perhaps Anakin's destiny wasn't to destroy the Sith, but to preserve the light when the greatest Jedi fell to darkness. This alternate timeline shows us something profound about the nature of the Force. It wasn't Anakin's raw power that made him vulnerable to the dark side. It was Obi-Wan's perfect control that made his fall so complete. In trying to be the perfect Jedi, he became the perfect Sith. But perhaps the darkest twist in this alternate timeline isn't what Obi-Wan becomes, it's what he discovers. Deep in the ancient Sith texts, he uncovers a truth that makes him question everything. Qui-Gon's death wasn't random, it was orchestrated, and the one behind it might be closer than anyone suspected. But that's a story for another time. If you've enjoyed this journey through an alternate Star Wars timeline, there are more untold stories waiting to be discovered. Join our growing community of Star Wars enthusiasts who believe in exploring these what-if moments that could have changed the galaxy far, far away. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and activate notifications to catch our next alternative Star Wars story. Each tale offers a new perspective on the characters we love and the choices that define them. Remember to share your thoughts in the comments below. What other pivotal moments in the Star Wars saga would you like to see explored differently? Your ideas might inspire our next adventure. May the Force be with you, always.